Hi everyone. Guess what? I got mail again. And as you know from my first video, when I open packages, it feels like Christmas to me. So I wanted to share with you what has arrived this time because I think you'll all be interested to see what I have ahead of me, as well as I want to use this as an opportunity to truly, sincerely thank those who have sent me these items. So I'm going to start with this one, which is a beautifully thick book. And I have to say that, well, I'll tell you more about the sender in a moment. But it is entitled The Hippies, a 1960s History by John Anthony Moretta. And when I saw this, I smiled and I laughed in a sort of happy sort of way, because I thought, this is kind of a blank spot in my history, because as you know, my age is, okay, hippies history, a little bit too recent to end up in the school books. A little bit too early for me to have experienced myself. So I know kind of a little bit by hearsay and picking up here and there, but I've never actually sat down to read and study and learn about that era in such a manner. And, well, there's a note inside from the sender. It says, some more background reading for you when you have the time. Enjoy. And the sender is a very generous patron and supporter of this channel by the name of Sean, and he gave me permission to share his name. And I feel like, well, first of all, thank you, Sean. I feel like you, Sean, have kind of made it a study to figure out what appeals to me, and at the same time will expand my understanding and experience and perspective of this entire project that I've taken on. And this is another brilliant choice of yours, because I guess you've picked up that I love to read. I guess you've picked up that I love history. I love to learn. And of course, I love anything having to do with this project that I've taken upon myself to become familiar with rock music as a whole. And such a very fitting addition. Well, I have to confess that my reading time is rather limited, which I think Sean also is aware of. At the moment, my little girl is a toddler now, and she's very aware of what I'm doing, and she's trying to imitate me. And so I've been in the habit of using baby care time to be productive, but I don't want her to always see me on my electronic devices. So I have started putting away my iPad, my iPhone, even my Kindle, and reading actual physical books, because I feel like that's going to be something that will benefit her more than just seeing me staring at a screen all my life. So that is what I plan to do, and that is how I'm working in reading time these days, when I'm spending it following my little girl around the yard as she explores the outdoors and that sort of thing. I just have a book in my hand and I read. So thank you very much, Sean. I'm really looking forward to getting into this book. It'll be a little bit longer because I have to finish the one I'm in, but I will, and I'll let you know how it goes. Now, the other piece of mail that I received is this one. It is entitled Ghibli Best Stories by Joe Hisaishi, which I assume is probably a Japanese name. I see some characters up here as well in a foreign language, and it is original edition. And I looked at this and I thought, is there somebody else sending me more reading material? But then I opened the first page, and well, first of all, I found a note. And the note says, enjoy your gift, a big fan of your channel, from Anderson. Thank you, Anderson. This was a surprise. And it turns out that this is a collection of film score music Well, a collection of music drawn from film scores by the composer Joe Hisaishi, who, it turns out, has composed music for more than 10 films over the course of the decades. And these seem to be some of his big hits, top favorites. And he's taken them himself and adapted them for piano solo from the original orchestral score. So it's the composer himself doing this. It's not someone else saying, oh, let's mash some stuff together. And I was delighted when I saw it. First of all, it's for piano. You know, I play piano, but I also looked at it and I thought, oh, this would be fun to explore on the harp as well. Well, I'm not going to wax eloquent in the moment about the challenges of transferring piano music to harp. There are some challenges and sometimes impossibilities, but I just tried a couple chords on the harp this morning. Speaking of the harp, as I was tuning it this morning, a big fat string broke, and I haven't even taken the time to replace it yet. Fortunately, the first couple of chords in this book don't even require those low strings. So I thought I'd just let you hear what the sound would be like on the harp with these opening chords. And it really is delightful. Doesn't it sound like it suits the harp? And then it travels to the next chord, which is... It could have been written for the harp. At least those tonalities, those chord mixes are so common to 20th century and even late 19th century harp music. And it's kind of the impressionist style. Well, I won't say that this is impressionist music. I haven't sat down to play the whole thing yet and explore it and learn more about the composer. But I feel like Anderson has perhaps looked at my new Amy's Cut channel where I'm reviewing movie music, and he thought to blend my two loves together, movies and music, and give me something to explore as well. So thank you, Anderson. This is going to be a lot of fun. Now the third one is not a book. It's, maybe you could call it a piece of music, but not quite. It's more like maybe a piece of artwork, but maybe I should just show you. This is a framed display of Pink Floyd's The Dark Side of the Moon. And you can see the vinyl is here, and there's also a nice piece of artwork as well, which I don't know if it's showing on the camera, but it's a rather large item, isn't it? And, well, yes, I know so many of you I have so many fans just waiting for the day that I will start to review The Dark Side of the Moon, and I guess that will come at some point. I don't know exactly when. The wall project has taken me a lot longer than I expected it to take me, but for those of you sitting on the edge of your seats about the wall, I'll just tell you here that it's coming up very soon. We've been working on preparing the last numbers and having them all ready ahead of time, at least, so that having my notes ready so that I can present them more rapidly, and we'll just get that project wrapped up. And so The Dark Side of the Moon should come at some point in the future, and, well, I guess this will probably end up on the studio wall somewhere, but probably not until I start that project. Maybe the first day of that project will be the day that we hang this in the studio. Something fun like that. And clearly someone of you is incredibly eager for me to get into this, because what do I have here this morning? And it's really a lovely piece of artwork display. And, well, I also want to say that I'm aware that this album was selected in 2012 for the recording library, by the National Library of Congress, and so it's considered. It wasn't the wall which was selected, but it was the Dark Side of the Moon which was selected. So of course I know I have to get to this, and I will. And so there I have been gifted 3 beautiful, different, each one is different, a book to read, music to explore, and a lovely work of art to display, which is also rather inspirational and motivational, right, and pushing me towards a new project. I'll have to make sure I don't bite off too much at once, but it is coming. And I thank you all. It is so nice to have this connection and this community, and this is why I want to share these pieces of mail that come, because I like this involvement and the connection that we share, and the love of music and life in general that we all share together. And so I thank you all. I appreciate you all, and let the music play. I'll see you soon.